Hello, my name is Katie Class with Green Star Marketing Consultants. I'm here today to talk to you about your defined target consumer, the millennial. The best way to understand how to market to this consumer is by meeting them where they are. To demonstrate this, I'll walk you through a day in the life of our consumer, the millennial. Over the next few minutes, through this we'll be able to see the different types of marketing that they're exposed to throughout the day, how this individual reacts with the world so that we can identify various options for marketing mediums. And lastly, we'll be able to take a case study approach to look at a couple of companies who seem to be right on the money when it comes to engaging America's largest generation, the millennial. Meet Nico. Nico is a millennial at 33 years old. He's also a father of two. He works at a tech firm as a program manager, which requires a degree, in downtown Austin, Texas. Nico starts his day with his 3-year-old waking him up, and he and his girlfriend's rented home in the Cherry Creek neighborhood of South Austin. Nico and his wife both work full-time jobs, and so they need to get going so that they have time to drop the children at his parents' house to watch them while they're away at work. Like mentioned, Nico starts his day with his family. They're a solid unit in which Nico and millennials alike value. Nico and his wife work hard so that they can provide their children with a quality breakfast. Nielsen confirms that millennials largely believe that eating healthy is very important, and 29% are willing actually to pay a premium for healthy foods. While their children are eating breakfast, Nico and his wife take turns getting ready for the day. Nico uses his Dollar Shave Club subscription service to take care of his grooming. When it's Nico's wife's turn to shower, Nico takes this opportunity to play with his children. And in the meantime, he snaps some quick photos, puts them through a quick filter to a quirky little one-liner along with a hashtag, and then he quickly uploads them to his Instagram account. He has to keep in touch with his family that's all across the country, and everyone loves looking at his family on Instagram. Soon it's time to get in the car to head to Grandma's. They get into their 2016 Subaru Impreza, which they got because it had good reviews about being long-lasting as well as good safety ratings. Nico wanted to get a new Impreza and lease it because it was the better deal overall, but his wife eventually won the debate, going with a used version that came with a lifetime warranty. Plus, she said that only single men get leased cars, not men with families to consider. They will end up paying off the car in over 72 months, which is a very long time, but they don't seem to mind. The monthly cost was more affordable, and in the long run, the price differential seemed nominal to them. When the couple arrives at Nico's parents' house with the kids, he pulls his dad aside for a quick chat. It appears that the used Subaru needs some repairs that are not included in the warranty. Nico needs to make the best decision as to whether or not he should go to a private mechanic or if the dealer is the better option to get the repairs completed. He wanted to get the best deal, but quality repair work is also a top priority. He knew that for an important decision like this, he could depend on his dad for the right decision. Nico's dad told him to go to the mechanic, as the dealers were sure to charge an arm and a leg. Nico's dad gave him the name of his mechanic, and he and his wife went off to start their work days. Nico arrives at his job in a great mood. He loves his job. From the moment he walks into the cool building with the oversized and quite frankly ornate odd furniture in the lobby, he is happy to be there. He comes into his floor and grabs a breakfast taco from the kitchen, as well as some locally brewed coffee. He brews it by hand using a Chemex device because that's the best way. After he gets his breakfast, he joins the team in the main area, which is pretty much everywhere since it's an open collaborative workspace. The CEO is here today because the company is about to have a briefing before they head out on their paid volunteer day. Here, each employee gets a paid day to go out and give service. Nico paired up with a few of his co-workers to spend time in a school for underprivileged area children to tutor them in math and sciences for the day. They've been looking forward to it for months and are so excited. Things like this aren't the only reason why Nico loves this job. He's super grateful to have this job, and he actually chose it over a job that was willing to pay him more. The reason being is for the work-life balance and the perks. After today, he's taking a couple of personal days off. He has 18 per year. This time, he's using them to spend time with his kids. They have a few days off for school for spring break. This work-life balance is so important to him. He's been with the company for a year now, and it just keeps getting better as they've provided him a mentor and given him constant feedback, which he really appreciates. Plus, the flexibility of sometimes working from home, as well as taking personal days for whatever reason, gives him the flexibility that he needs now that he's a family man. Nico has so much fun with his friends at the school tutoring the kids in the math and sciences. They joke around with the kids and they're reminded of times from their own youth. So much so that they decide that they need to go out and check out this new local arcade that they read about online in Reddit. Here they saw that they had some old games like Frogger and Mario Kart that they remember from their youth. And while they can normally play games online with their friends, which they do, and friends from all over the world, this time it's going to be great to play it in person so that they can catch up with their buddies and check in on their lives. It's the important part about working with people that you like too, is that you get to enjoy the time that you spend with them and that they're good people. That's important, and Nico couldn't imagine working at a place where he worked with people that were any different. Nico makes sure to only stay out for an hour or so because he's got to pick up the kids, and he wants to because he values the time that he gets to spend with his family. He's looking forward to when he gets home, making a meal with his wife from Blue Apron, a meal kit delivery service. They have all the ingredients pre-measured, so it's easy. And they recycle everything, so they know that they're not depleting the world and they're making a sustainable choice. After they make dinner, they make a small portion for the kids that's healthy as well, and then read to them and tuck them into bed. Later on, him and his wife stream a Game of Thrones before they too head to bed. Before that, though, Nico has to check his Instagram for the photos that he uploaded earlier of his kids. He knows that his family from all over the country is going to check in with their comments and questions about how the kids are doing, and he loves catching up with them and keeping them involved in the kids' progress. He does this for a few minutes before plugging his phone in next to his bed, puts on a quiet sleep meditation that he loves, and he's listened to 100 times from YouTube before he peacefully falls asleep next to his wife. Now that we've been able to spend the day with Nico, let's go back and take a look at what we learned. When it comes to millennial preferences, it appears that this group, especially the ones who are young parents, prefer to rent their housing as opposed to owning it. They also prefer healthy food options and are willing to pay a premium for them. They will use subscription services, especially if they help them save time so that they can spend time with friends and family. When it comes to auto, they prefer to finance instead of lease. This way they can have a smaller risk up front, even though it means paying over a longer period of time. When it comes to getting their entertainment, they prefer streaming entertainment as opposed to getting a cable network. When it comes to employment, work is very important to them. They'd like to progress, and they prefer work perks opposed to salary. They also still are obtaining advice from their parents, especially on the big decisions. And lastly, they prefer gaming. Next, let's take a look at what our millennial consumer Nico values. He very much values relationships, those at work, within his family, and pretty much all around him. He values keeping in touch with his family. He values spending time with friends and family. When it comes to companies, he values transparency, quality, honesty, also social responsibility. He values the likability of his coworkers, and it will be a decision-making factor when he chooses who to work for. He values in-person relationships, despite what everybody thinks about millennials. And he values receiving advice instead of trusting his gut. Lastly, I'll leave you with the case study I promised. One company that's doing a great job of honoring both the preferences and values of millennials is Whole Foods. They're a healthy food option that is paired with community and value. They also exhibit social responsibility, and now that they're with Amazon, they're able to provide conveniences and subscription services. This company hits many of the millennial needs and is a great model to look to when developing a marketing mix and promotional strategy. Thank you for your time. Again, I'm Katie Klass with Greenstar Consulting, and I encourage you from all of us here at Greenstar to make today shine.